Good morning, everybody. So thank you very much for your support with the cheque and the donation this morning. We really do appreciate the ongoing support that you give to Rainbows. We are the only hospice for children and young people in the whole of the East Midlands. And when I say children and young people, we support children from newborn babies to young people who are 30 years old. And all of those children and young people have some sort of life-limiting illness or condition, which sadly means they're not going to live as long as we'd love them to. But we provide ongoing support to the families through respite care, palliative care, bereavement support and our sibling support as well. There's a huge amount that we do, and we can only do it thanks to the support from groups like yourselves. What I'd like to do, just very briefly, is tell you a quick story. Would you mind holding that for me?
No, story.
Sorry. So this is a photo of a little girl called Lucy. You might not be able to see it at the back, but I'm just going to tell you Lucy's story very quickly. 7-year-old Lucy has Dravet syndrome, a rare, catastrophic, lifelong form of epilepsy where seizures can be deadly. Her mum treasures each and every single moment with her daughter and tries not to think about what the future holds. Lucy's turmoil began at 9 months old when she started having unexplained and sometimes extreme seizures. This progressed to the point where most weeks she was taken to hospital in an ambulance, and although terrifying, it became the norm for her mum. During the first year after Lucy's diagnosis, Lucy's mum was so scared she would die every single day, and there was nothing she could do. At 3 years old, Lucy almost died from an uncontrollable seizure. All of her veins had collapsed and her heart had stopped. She ended up in intensive care. At 3.5, Lucy was diagnosed with Dravet syndrome. It was a double-edged sword for Mum. She was relieved to know what was wrong, but it was also scary knowing the diagnosis. Lucy has the mental age of a 2-year-old and has problems with her mobility. Her mum describes her as a little tornado who wobbles around and loves to climb. Lucy's mum has to keep a close eye on Lucy's temperature. If it gets too high, it can trigger a seizure. The same can happen if she gets overexcited, because Lucy also has ADHD and is on the autism pathway, and she struggles to sleep at night. Mum can be there tending to her daughter every hour. Lucy's mum and the family discovered Rainbows in 2014, and she describes Rainbows as a godsend to them. As well as Rainbows being brilliant for Lucy, her mum says when Lucy's there, it's the one time she can truly relax. She completely trusts everyone at Rainbows and knows Lucy is receiving the greatest care. In the photo you can see there, Lucy's painting one of our wet rooms. And Lucy's mum said that Rainbows is just brilliant. She absolutely loves it. Once she was given the freedom to paint one of the wet rooms, the mirror, the walls, everywhere. She absolutely loved it, and that was just amazing. And it's an experience she would have never have been able to give her little girl at home. What Lucy's mum has to remember is for Lucy, this life is perfectly normal. Lucy doesn't know anything else, and she's happy, which makes her mum happy. There's no way of knowing her prognosis, so for now, Lucy's mum just takes every day as it comes and makes the most of every minute with her amazing daughter. And the truth is, we can only do what we do at Rainbows with support from groups like yourselves, from individuals that donate to us, and we really are so grateful. So thank you to everybody for your support and for your help this morning.